October 18, 2025, a day etched into the memory of every American who believes in the power of their voice. As dawn broke over the skyline of New York, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and countless cities across the country, the streets began to stir. Ordinary people, students, teachers, workers, grandparents, stepped outside their homes carrying banners, posters, and the weight of years of frustration. Newspapers chronicled a rising tension that had been simmering for decades, highlighting issues of government accountability, transparency, and civic participation. Social media amplified this energy, connecting communities, sharing calls to action, and spreading a single, unmistakable message: no kings. This was not just a protest, it was a collective heartbeat, a living symbol of democracy in motion. Across plazas, avenues, and city squares, voices rose in unison, chanting slogans, singing songs of unity, and waving banners that demanded attention. The air vibrated with hope, determination, and the unmistakable sense that history was being written in real time. In every step, every voice, and every gesture, the people of America reminded the world of a fundamental truth. Democracy is alive, but it only thrives when the citizens themselves take action. Mid-century magazine illustration style, vast crowd of diverse Americans outside iconic U.S. government buildings, holding banners reading "No Kings," soft sepia and muted warm colors, slight film grain, cinematic overhead perspective, vintage 1950s poster feel, morning light casting long shadows. The roots of the No Kings movement stretch back years. Citizens across America had grown weary of being unheard, frustrated by government inaction, and concerned about transparency. Policies seemed distant, debates opaque, and every election cycle left many feeling powerless. But the frustration simmered quietly, feeding a growing desire for collective action. Communities began organizing locally, town halls buzzed with discussion, and grassroots groups formed to amplify voices that had long been marginalized. Social media became a bridge, connecting people from coast to coast, allowing ideas to spread like wildfire. Memes, videos, and posts transformed ordinary citizens into symbols of civic consciousness. Every story shared, every post liked, and every message forwarded contributed to a movement that transcended geography and demographics. The No Kings protest did not emerge overnight. It was the result of years of small actions, countless conversations, and the collective will of millions who refused to remain passive. By the time October 18th arrived, the foundation was set. The streets would no longer be empty, and the people of America were ready to make history together, step by step, voice by voice, banner by banner. Mid-century magazine illustration style, retro infographic elements showing rising civic engagement, town hall meetings, diverse Americans organizing, pastel muted colors, overlay of social media icons in 1950s graphic style, cinematic composition with depth, soft, warm lighting. In the weeks leading up to October 18th, the energy of the movement grew unstoppable. Hashtags and viral posts drew attention across the nation, urging citizens to participate. Small towns, mid-sized cities, and metropolitan hubs alike joined the wave. Streets were mapped out for safe gatherings, public squares were prepared, and local leaders coordinated peaceful demonstrations. Volunteers handed out flyers, organized chants, and trained marshals to maintain order. Citizens shared personal stories online, explaining why this protest mattered, giving faces and emotions to the larger cause. The movement's message resonated across age groups: young students seeking representation, parents demanding transparency, retirees recalling previous struggles for justice. Every post, tweet, and share added momentum, transforming the abstract idea of change into a tangible, collective plan. By the eve of the protest, millions knew their role, and anticipation electrified the air. The country was ready. Social media buzzed with reminders, rallies were confirmed, and the message of no kings rippled across digital and physical landscapes alike. October 18th would not be a single moment. It would be a crescendo of preparation, determination, and unity. Mid-century illustration style, dynamic city map highlighting protest locations across the USA, stylized social media overlays in muted sepia tones, diverse people preparing banners and flyers, cinematic perspective, vintage poster feel, soft, warm morning light. As the sun rose on October 18th, the streets transformed into rivers of humanity. New York, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Chicago, and countless other cities witnessed millions of people moving with purpose. The crowd was diverse: students, families, workers, and seniors, all united by a single goal: to make their voices heard. Signs waved in the morning breeze, reading "No Kings, Power to the People," and slogans demanding government accountability. Chants echoed down avenues, bouncing off historic buildings as waves of people marched in rhythm. Street musicians added to the soundtrack of protest, their instruments blending with the collective heartbeat of the crowd. Journalists and photographers captured every moment, knowing this would be remembered in history books. Banners and posters, some homemade, some printed, displayed the creativity and individuality of the participants. From above, the streets looked like a moving tapestry, alive with color, movement, and conviction. Every step taken by the protesters was a reminder that democracy is not static. It is shaped by the people themselves, in every chant, every flag waved, and every voice raised in unison. Mid-century magazine illustration style, aerial view of massive crowds filling city streets, banners waving "No Kings," diverse Americans chanting, pastel muted colors, cinematic perspective, slight film grain, morning sunlight casting long shadows, vintage 1950s poster feel. Amid the sea of people, personal stories emerged that defined the protest. A young college student held a hand-painted sign declaring her first vote mattered. A retired factory worker joined with his walking stick, reminding younger generations that past struggles paved the way for current freedoms. Mothers and fathers brought children, teaching them the value of civic responsibility firsthand. Volunteers handed out water and snacks, while artists sketched moments in real time, capturing the emotion in every face. Each participant carried hope, frustration, and determination, forming a collective tapestry of human experience. As chants rose and banners waved, these stories intertwined, creating a narrative far larger than any one individual. News outlets highlighted these personal experiences, showcasing the human heart behind the protest. Every smile, tear, and fist raised was a message. Democracy is alive, but only if nurtured by engaged citizens. The streets became a classroom, teaching lessons of courage, solidarity, and the enduring power of voice in shaping the nation's future. Mid-century magazine illustration style. Close-up vignettes of diverse Americans holding banners and signs, mother and child, elderly man with walking stick, soft muted colors, cinematic composition with depth, vintage 1950s poster aesthetic, slight film grain. Throughout the day, iconic moments and symbols captured the imagination of the nation. Banners stretched across city avenues, flags waved proudly, and chants rose like waves crashing in rhythm. Artists and photographers documented these moments in mid-century style, turning real-time protest into visual history. Spontaneous formations of human chains symbolized unity, while street art and murals appeared in real time, celebrating freedom and civic engagement. Drones and overhead cameras provided sweeping views, revealing the immense scale of participation. Every sign, every gesture, every moment of solidarity became emblematic of a movement larger than the streets themselves. The No Kings protest transcended its immediate purpose, becoming a living symbol of democracy, community, and the belief that ordinary citizens could drive extraordinary change. Mid-century magazine illustration style. sweeping view of streets with thousands of protesters, human chains, banners and flags waving, muted pastel colors, cinematic film grain overlay, vintage 1950s poster aesthetic, afternoon sunlight casting shadows, soft, dramatic lighting. Government officials, citizens, and the media all responded to the day's events with varying reactions. Some leaders acknowledged the protests' significance, promising dialogue and reform, while others remained cautious. News broadcasts in retro-style graphics reported the magnitude of participation, showing interviews with organizers, families, and young activists. Opinion columns, talk shows, and social media discussions debated the implications, weighing the influence of civic activism on policy and future elections. Across the nation, citizens reflected on what they had witnessed, engaging in discussions about democracy, responsibility, and the power of collective action. The protest became a catalyst for debate, inspiring communities to examine their role in governance and the importance of ongoing civic engagement. Mid-century illustration style, vintage news broadcast overlay, reporters interviewing participants, newspapers and social media graphics in muted sepia tones, diverse American citizens reacting, cinematic composition with depth, soft, warm lighting. As evening fell, the streets began to empty, but the impact of the movement lingered. Sunset bathed city squares in warm, golden light, highlighting the banners still fluttering gently. Participants returned home, carrying with them a sense of accomplishment and solidarity. Across digital platforms, photos, videos, and stories spread nationwide, commemorating the day's events. Citizens reflected on their power and the responsibility that comes with it. Communities organized follow-up meetings, discussions, and initiatives inspired by the protest. Though the streets were quieter, the message remained loud. Democracy thrives when the people actively participate. The No Kings movement became a historical milestone, a reminder that engaged citizens can shape the course of a nation, one step, one voice, one action at a time. Mid-century magazine illustration style, streets emptying at sunset, banners fluttering gently, people leaving peacefully, muted warm colors, cinematic depth, slight film grain, vintage 1950s poster aesthetic, soft golden hour light. As the day concluded, a final message lingered in the hearts and minds of Americans. The power of collective voice is timeless. The silhouettes of protesters under waving flags became symbolic, immortalized in illustrations, photographs, and memories. The No Kings movement reminded the nation that democracy is not a passive institution. It lives and breathes through the engagement, courage, and unity of its citizens. From the youngest student to the oldest activist, every step, every chant, and every banner contributed to a living lesson in civic responsibility. October 18, 2025, will be remembered as a day when the people of America rose together, asserting that power belongs to those who claim it through action, solidarity, and unwavering belief in the promise of democracy. Mid-century poster-style illustration, waving American flag with silhouettes of diverse citizens, vintage muted colors, cinematic composition, soft dramatic lighting, slight film grain, warm tones, inspirational 1950s magazine aesthetic.